his style on the field, off the field, but he was hardly that on Thursday.
Yeah. He had a real problem with the defense not stripping the ball. He said, look, I'll pay you $5 every time you strip it in practice. Nobody did anything. They played about 15 minutes and still nobody was stripping the ball. He said, my tirades don't carry the weight this year. He says this team is not focused. They're having difficulty concentrating even when he's yelling and screaming at them.
They gave him an industrial strength lashing at practice and said, I used some words I didn't even know I had inside me, but didn't get the response that he did a year ago. Jeff Wright makes the tackle of Derek Lassick, who has replaced Emmitt Smith. Here's the blockers in front of that offense. Tuane, Newton, Stepnowski, Gogin, and Williams. Troy Aikman, the MVP in the Super Bowl. Darrell Johnston, the blocker. Derek Lassick taking his big shoes. Kevin Williams will also come in the nickel offense. Irvin and Harper, the wide receivers, and Jay Novacek, a Pro Bowler at tight end. Lassick trying to pick his way. Nothing there except Phil Hansen, number 90. The pride and joy of Oaks, North Dakota. 2 carries for Lassick, no yards gained.
You already see Lassick goes out on the third down situations. Johnston is in there. He stays in there for pass protection. That's one of the main reasons that Lassick comes out. That's another part of the Emmitt factor here. Emmitt, such a superb pass protector, but the threat of Emmitt Smith in the backfield is on the sideline.
Barry Gaynor now in behind Aikman on third down and a long 10. Aikman's first throw, guns it, intercepted. Nate Odoms, who had 5 last year, the 7-year man from Wisconsin. Beautiful coverage by Odoms. Bruce Smith was the man putting pressure on Aikman.
But you know, it looked like Aikman had plenty of time. Michael Irvin kind of rounds this pattern a little bit. This is a technique, double zone. I don't think Aikman ever saw Odoms. Easy pick, first turnover for Buffalo, not against them.
Why trust your moments to anything else? By new Old Spice Sensitive. It's alcohol-free to take the heat out of aftershave. By LA Tech Light Gear. You got to own the light if you want to own the night. And by Gillette Sensor and the new Gillette series. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Nate Odoms' first interception, and it comes right at his number, the 37-yard line of Buffalo. And the 9 turnovers forced by Dallas, Super Bowl 27, and pass it in. It resulted 35 points. That was the difference in the score, 52-17. The turnovers have gone the other way against Dallas so far. Washington recovered 4 fumbles on Monday night, and Troy Aikman, a rare interception for Aikman. He had gone 166 passes without an interception. Remember the great playoffs? He just was impeccable.
Perfect. That's part of forcing the offense. Again, Emmitt factor.
2nd down 7. Thomas is back in there, an opening and a big cut close to a first down as he skids across the 47. Dixon Edwards tripped him up.
So many things this young man can do. He doesn't need much of an opening. Kelly runs out, hands the ball to Thurman Thomas, and then look at that move. Well, there's no coach in the world that can take credit for it. Either got it or you don't. Thurman does. And the guy that used to play here, Emmitt Smith, does.
4 consecutive years leading the NFL in total scrimmage yards. Don Beebe with a reception, a gain of 7 more. On first down, the ball at the Dallas 45. Larry Brown made the tackle.
Now, Dick, already this game is starting to take on the personality that the Washington game did against Dallas last weekend. And that was the Dallas defense could never dictate or feel comfortable at what Washington was going to do. They kept telling us that. Buffalo's doing it again.
Hurry up offense, and it's Thomas close to a first down as he hits at the 41. Tolbert and Jones with the stop.
Even though this is a hurry up, you see Casillas, 75-67 Maryland coming in. The defense here tries to keep 6, 7, 8 guys up front fresh. They're there in the 4th quarter.
Thomas with 22 yards already, and Kelly on a reversed Andre Reed. He's got blockers. And Reed out of bounds at the 31-yard line, a gain of about 9. Thomas Everett made the stop.
Well disguised. Not going downfield. Watch how much movement they get in the defense. Again, the Dallas defense last year so brilliant, so tough at diagnosing what was coming next and controlling the line of scrimmage and play in the opening parts of this game. They're waiting on Buffalo.
2nd and 1. Thomas Diving forward a yard to the 30. That'll be close to a first down. Nothing to mark it outside the 30, and it'll bring up 3rd and short. Charles Haley, veteran from James Madison. Came here a year ago from San Francisco for a #2 pick. Had 6 sacks, but more importantly, look at the start. The 42 pressures to lead the Cowboys.
And not one of the biggest defensive ends you'll ever find in the league. I mean, he faces guys on a weekly basis that are 50 and 60 pounds heavier. Great strength, huge hands.
He said, we better get going. He said that Coach Johnson can get ugly. He doesn't like being #2. That's Nate Turner from Nebraska, a former tight end, plowing for a first down inside the 30. Robert Jones, number 55, with the tackle. A starter as a rookie at middle backer last year.
Thurman on the sideline looked like he banged his elbow on that first series, having it retaped and taped again. Tough guy. Thurman Thomas. He will catch it. He'll carry it. He'll block.
And he'll make it tough on the Dallas Cowboys front office.
Yes, he's
created some damage in the offseason. Kelly with a fake in the screen to Davis. Davis doing a good job to skip away from a couple of tacklers to the 22. Russell Maryland tripped him up along with Kevin Smith. Boy, Kelly just did get that one off.
Speaking of tough, in this league, I think if you're going to list one of the top tough guys at quarterback, you've got to include Jim Kelly, who graciously last night attributed that characteristic to his mom. Said, I got all my toughness from my mom.
He's watching and rooting in East Brady, Pennsylvania. Davis. And he runs into a tough spot in that Dallas defense. Maryland 67, Casillas 75. The 2 tackles collaborate. The dean of NFL coaches at 65. Marv Levy, co-college, PhD, and then an English degree, a master's degree from Harvard, and masterminding this 10-play drive. Wide open is Andre Reed, and he's inside the 15 of Dallas with a first down. Reed, who had 6 catches in the opener last week, half of them for touchdowns, and won that 41-yard run after the catch.
That was a 4-1-6 defense by the Dallas Cowboys. That's 6 defensive backs. Nice little pick run there by Buffalo that got Reed out in the flat. 10-yard pickup. Good protection for Jim Kelly, and Andre Reed, I think, is coming off the sideline.
So both Thurman Thomas and Andre Reed have left the game in this first quarter, but Thomas has returned. He has the ball now, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Darren Woodson at safety makes the stop.
Well, now, if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you got to be thinking, wait a minute. I saw this last week. The Washington Redskins driving the ball down the field against this much vaunted defense. Now, we know Buffalo's a good offensive team, but why is this happening again? The Dallas fans don't want to see this pattern present itself.
Emmett Smith didn't play defense. He helped the defense, but he didn't play there. There's the touchdown to Carwell Gardner. Out of the backfield, the big fullback wide open for the score.
Whoa, that was a pretty drive, Dick. We had reverses, we had screens, we had square outs. Watch the fake. Right up the middle to Thurman Thomas. Holds the linebacker Jones, 55. And Carwell Gardner just finds the seam. Well, that's taking advantage of the defense. The threat of Thurman Thomas to run it on the draw holds the linebacker. Gardner uncovered. Nice throw by Jim Kelly.
Frank Reich to hold for Steve Christie's extra point try. And Buffalo leads 7-0 after the interception by Odoms, a 63-yard drive.
You see, there's Gardner right there. The fake to Thurman Thomas holds the linebacker. Everett, 27, drops him. An easy 6 points after a nice drive.
Scorching this Dallas-Fort Worth area, 97 degrees, well over 100 on the playing field. Buffalo takes the early lead, 7-0, just as they did in the Super Bowl in Pasadena. The kick to Kevin Williams, and the rookie will take a knee, and the touchback at the 20. Well, yesterday, plenty of top collegiate football action, and one of the biggest stories, Lou Holtz's Irish upsetting Michigan at Ann Arbor as a 9-point underdog, 27-23. They'll play Michigan State next Saturday. State over the Jayhawks 31-14, and you'll see that game next Saturday afternoon, 1:30 Eastern time here on NBC. Kelly and the Bills really already in the first quarter look as if that heat having some impact, but what a drive. 63 yards. He was 4 for 4 passing on the drive. Aikman, Pulaski, and the rookie bumped out of bounds after about a 10-yard gain by Mark Maddox. Let's go to NFL Live in New York. All right, Jim, the Lions off to a good start. That's Harper, who had a big day against night against Washington on Monday in motion. And on 2nd and 1, the big fullback Daryl Johnston, who rarely gets a carry, had only 2 against the Skins on Monday night, has the first down. Talley and others in on the tackle. Derek Lassig, who was picked in the 4th round, the 13th running back selected in the last draft. He is 13th in a family of 16. He's got some big brothers and some little ones, he said, and one of the big brothers is here today to root him on. He's a correctional officer, 240-pounder Nate, who was with him on draft day and with a Dallas draft observer.
They were almost close.
Aikman finds a wide-open tight end, Novacek, and a first down near midfield. 16 yards to Novacek.
This guy, as long as Emmitt Smith is not here, is a key part of this offense. He's got to alleviate some of the pressure from the outside receivers. Their choice was Cornelius Bennett to cover him down the field, and then of course back outside where he wants to play. Novacek can at least make the defense think about, yeah, we've got a receiver on the inside. His name is Novacek, and he wears 84.
And he's a real Cowboy, not only in a football uniform but off. Ooh, nailed his Lassig at the 50. In fact, back to Novacek. He competes in cutting horse rodeo work. He's from small town Gothenburg, Nebraska. The Swedes, they call him there.
The Swedes, yes.
They just another one of the boys in town, Novacek. He's no more important than any of the rest of us.
Yeah, he just got a gun rack in the back of his pickup like everybody else. It may be a little more expensive.
Doesn't want it to be. 2nd down and 9 Dallas. 7-0 Buffalo. Under 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. And Aikman has to use a timeout. That gives us a chance to break for some important words with 3:50 remaining in the opening period. From Alabama on draft day, thinking he might go in the 2nd or 3rd round, and then got a little tense at home.
Nate was sitting there and he told the Dallas guy, you better draft him, man. You better draft him. And Nate is a pretty good sized individual. He's a correctional officer up in New York. And so they drafted him. The guy called and they drafted him.
He said just in time. Nate was about to throw the Dallas chap right out the front door. Daryl Johnston, that ball right through his mitts. Maddox was the closest Bill. And Lassig saying that, you know, he was here early in the spring and met Emmitt Smith, and Smith was such a nice guy. He said, I'm rooting for him to come back. I know it's a chance for me. I'm not, you know, I'll do the best I can, and I think I belong here, but I obviously know Emmitt Smith. Doesn't bother me that some of the players are wearing 22 on their helmets.
Last week, 16 carries, 75 yards in Washington. The Monday night game, that's a remarkable performance for a rookie.
We're down 9 for Dallas at midfield. Hit, and down he goes at the 42-yard line. May have fumbled. The Bills acting as though they might have recovered it. Henry Jones came in on a safety blitz, number 20, and now the scramble for the ball.
Bruce Smith was there. There were several people there, but it was keyed by Henry Jones, the safety. You're absolutely correct. Does Aikman get up? Talley's there.
Aikman recovered the fumble, but Dallas will have to punt.
Looks like Buffalo's choice is to be a lot more aggressive when it comes to pressure. You're looking at Bruce Smith. There's Jones.
He did strip it.
He did strip it. And, did Aikman get it? I can't tell who got it. Dallas did recover it, but it still is a 4th down.
Rookie free agent John Jett from East Carolina. He did have 2 punts blocked in the preseason, and the Bills certainly taking note of that. Russell Copeland returned a kick for a touchdown last week against New England. And he can't elude the first man, Kenneth Gant. Gant gets him at the 20. A reminder, tomorrow night, a big night, late night on NBC. The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and Burt Reynolds will be one of his guests. That should be interesting, with all the talk about Burt and his private life. And then Conan O'Brien debuts on the late night show after Jay Leno. So that's tomorrow night. Quinella, Leno, and the late night show. Conan O'Brien. They mark it at the 19. 7-0 Buffalo. 3:11 remaining first quarter. Kelly comes out throwing. Finds a wide open Carwell Gardner, and the touchdown maker has a first down to the 32-yard line. Larry Brown bumps him out of bounds. 13 yards in the play. Well, Kelly said we had a few new wrinkles for Dallas.
And having the fullback line up out as a wide receiver, it draws people away from the pressure spots on the defense. Buffalo has made some adjustments here. Of course, to make the adjustments, they had to look at the cut-ups, the game films of the Super Bowl. They didn't like it one bit, but they had to watch it.
First time many of them have seen the Super Bowl. They have not watched the replay of our telecast, only the film cut-ups. Kelly included. To Beatty, and the little guy from Chadron State to the 40-yard line. Kevin Smith makes the stop.
You also see Buffalo in a little more of a timing offense here, Ted. Kelly goes back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, sets, throws. It alleviates some pressure on the offense. He's not as young as he used to be. Knees are a little bothersome at times, so it might protect him, Kelly, a little better.
2nd and 2, and it's Thurman Thomas. That offensive line is doing a great job. The Cowboys were pushed 2 yards back before Thomas even met any resistance. It's another first down for Buffalo.
And again, that happened in Washington. We watched the game tapes the other day, Dick, and I think even the most die-hard Dallas Cowboy fan will admit that the Washington Redskins shoved the Dallas defense front 7 all over the field.
See the block that Gardner put on middle backer Robert Jones on that last play. First down, Kelly hit from behind. Ball is free, and it's recovered by Dallas. Russell, Maryland. Charles Haley from the back door stripped it away.
Again, he's got a young man at offensive tackle, John Fina, making just his second start at offensive tackle. Was a defensive lineman. They think John Fina is going to be a wonderful offensive tackle. But Haley is a handful for the most seasoned veteran at offensive tackle. Big turnover. Now even Dallas with good field position.
Turnover is lethal to Buffalo's hopes in the Super Bowl. And Dallas gets it at the 43 of the Bills. And Aikman pumping and looking long. His receiver's covered. He has to dump it out of bounds.
That's the new rule.
Cornelius Bennett.
Dick, excuse me. No intentional grounding there. Protect the quarterbacks, which turn out to be the franchise. And for Buffalo, Kelly on the left, Frank Reich, more of a coach than he is a player. When Kelly is on the field, he's his main advisor as to what the defense is doing. Those two and Gail Gilbert, they almost need their own office there in Orchard Park.
Reich, the son of a coach, and a valuable backup. Johnston flanked out to the right on 2nd and 10, and then Kevin Williams in motion. Aikman underneath. Incomplete to Williams. 5'9", a solid 190 is Williams. A native of Dallas, so how happy he was to have been drafted by the Cowboys.
Young man that Jimmy Johnson has great faith in. You see he does an excellent job of getting by the defender. Outstanding job, but all you got to do then is catch it.
3rd and 10. Minute and a half of the opening quarter as the Cowboys trail 7-0. Aikman. Incomplete to Novacek, and Henry Jones, the safety man, made the defensive play. Well, the Cowboys unable to pick up a yard after the Kelly fumble. And the punt unit comes on.
You can see Aikman looking all over the field. This is excellent coverage by Buffalo. Keeps his feet moving. Novacek as the outlet. You can also see that Henry Jones is out there. Now, Michael Irvin, a good receiver, always says, man, I'm wide open, throw it to me. And in that case, he was and should have. Nate Odom stopped coverage.
John Jett to punt. High spiral. Copeland fair catch. He caught it at the 4-yard line, didn't let it go. That's one that Levy and the special teams coaches will talk to Copeland about as we go to New York for this chat.
To pick up high drama in the Georgia Dome, Dick. Fourth game of the day decided by a late field goal after Bobby Hebert produced a 21-point rally to tie it at 31 for Atlanta. Then he coughed up a fumble in the last minute. Morton Anderson capitalized from 43 yards out as time ran out. New Orleans survives 34-31. Dick and Bob Trumpet.
All right, Jim, and Morton Anderson was going for an NFL consecutive field goal record. He had tied the record at 24. He obviously had a couple today. If he didn't have a miss, he owns that mark as well. Buffalo starts from inside the 5. Kenneth Davis drilled after a 3-yard pickup. Kevin Smith coming up from a corner, and Thomas Everett there too.
Again, Davis in there, in part, I believe, to spell Thurman Thomas, but Thurman Thomas also banged up his elbow slightly. I can't really tell what the report from the bench was. If it's not serious and will return, but it's hot. You need to spell these guys today.
A gain of almost 5. Davis again to the 12-yard line. Robert Jones and others with a stop. Davis lives in Dallas in the offseason and actually has a full-service auto shop. Harvey Martin, the great former Cowboys, one of his clients, and he was hoping in the Super Bowl that he'd have a party in the auto shop. Well, a lot of black crepe, but perhaps a men's today.
Oops. No party in his body shop.
3rd and 3. Kelly with 6 straight completions.
Gardner.
Intercepted. And Gardner makes the tackle on Kevin Smith.
Poor choice, Jim Kelly.
It's almost as if Kevin Smith dared Kelly to throw that one.
Gardner just runs an out and then turns up when Kelly gets in trouble. The defender, Kevin Smith, was all over that play.
Hi, Super Dave Osborne.
7-0 Buffalo. The Cowboys, 2 turnovers forced in the final minutes of the opening quarter, and Kevin Smith's first interception of the season and the first turnover for Dallas this year gives the Cowpokes a chance at the 34 Buffalo. Novacek in motion. Classic. And Henry Jones, the safety man, gets him after a yard gain. Let's go back to the interception.
This is a classic. Here's Gardner, comes out here and then turns upfield. The intended receiver was going to be Beebe, but the Dallas Cowboys do a good job of covering it. Jim Kelly looks left, and when Gardner turns up, maybe if he puts a little more air underneath the ball, he's got a chance, or at least it's incomplete. But I mean, that was right in Kevin Smith's hands. You don't get him that good in practice.
2nd and 9 Dallas. Aikman. Underneath he goes, and Johnston, who had some running room, trips and then is covered by veteran Darryl Talley at the 31, a pickup of 3.
Got his foot stuck in the turf there. Tripped on the 0 on the 30.
Syracuse graduate, his quarterback Don McPherson for the Orangemen, who have a solid team again this year.
Marvin Graves is a heck of a quarterback.
3rd down, 7 Dallas. Bruce Smith gets him from the backside. It'll go incomplete, but it bounced off one of the Dallas linemen. Kevin Gogan was a live ball if caught in the air. Bruce Smith really putting the pressure on Aikman.
He's on mark 2 and A. back full strength, shoulder not bothering him, looking to dive at him. You also see 56 Talley there, 97 Bennett there, putting a lot more pressure on Troy Aikman than he saw all of the Super Bowl.
They get a fumble by Kelly, they get the interception, and they gain a total of 2 yards in those 2 opportunities. And they're going to go for it here on 4th down and 7. And this isn't just to draw Buffalo offside. It's out of the field goal range of Lynn Elliott, and Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys have used their 2nd timeout.
And now for some
Domino's. Call Domino's Pizza now and you'll be enjoying our new crunchy thin crust pizza during halftime.
Just over a minute gone in the 2nd quarter. The timeout was called not by Dallas but by Buffalo, as Buffalo looked at an offensive lineup, not the field goal unit. Now the field goal team sent in, and Jay Novacek kneels at the 39. A 49-yard attempt by Lynn Elliott, who missed an extra point at Washington. Shot for Elliott. It is no good. Slides wide right. It remains 7-0 Buffalo, and some Bluebirds here in Super Bowl champion country.
Elliott did not have a good preseason. The Dallas Cowboys did not invite another kicker to camp. He had camp all to himself. And he may get some company here in the next week or 2 if his kicking doesn't start straightening out. Good hold, good snap. I think he knows immediately, no, that's not going to hook in.
And that gives Buffalo the ball at the 31-yard line. So 2 turnovers for Dallas in Buffalo territory, and they come away empty. And so far, Buffalo 10 minutes of possession time to only 6 for Dallas. 105 yards Buffalo, 26 for the Cowboys. Kelly to work. Thurman Thomas. Good defensive play as Kenneth Gant makes the tackle across the 30.
That's an aspect of the Buffalo offense that worked so well for them last year. It's called a read screen. He just goes out there in the flat. That time there wasn't an offensive lineman in front of him. Gant did an excellent job of stopping Thurman Thomas, but Buffalo has gained a bunch of yards on that play.
Reed and Beebe to the right, Brooks to the left. Thomas gets only a couple to the 34-yard line. Haley in there to knife, get a piece of the ankle, and Leon Lett to complete the play. And Thomas comes up looking at that sore elbow.
Dick, it looked like Charles Haley was running a stunt in there because he was coming from the inside. Dallas trying to pull a few tricks here early in this football game.
Kelly to Beebe. It's caught at the 44. First down, Buffalo. John Beebe.
Finally now a starter since James Lofton is left. Does he catch it? Well, I don't see it hit the turf. This kid has great hands and outstanding speed. Obviously gained the confidence of Jim Kelly. Used to be the inside receiver. Now that's where James Lofton used to line up.
Lofton's speed is gone, so Beebe represents that. Oh, in the backfield, Leon Lett to drill Kenneth Davis. Lett from Emporia State of Kansas, an NAIA program. He well, national notoriety in the Super Bowl. It was Lett with a premature celebration as he ran for a touchdown, and Don Beebe plucked it away as he was holding it down low with the right hand.
You're being found. You'll never leave that down.
Someday it'll be fun. It isn't this year.
Not yet.
Doesn't want to talk about it. The throw is a little short to Brooks. Well covered by Kevin Smith. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Bills. 3rd and about 14.
Pressure by Dallas. Kelly couldn't really get over his front leg to put a real bit of steam on that pass.
You know, the marvel of the football challenge is that here's Kelly operating over 100 degrees. Game 2. End of the year, we're likely to be talking about a game where it's well below 0 in terms of chill factor, and you try to perform as well under both conditions. That one looked like a possible interception, as right there was Thomas Everett. He had 2, picked off 2 against Kelly in the Super Bowl. Bill Brooks was the target.
Of course, with this offense, the quarterback has got to make the right choices, and as you can see here, 1, 2, 3 guys right around Billy Brooks. I'm not sure that Jim Kelly made the right choice there, and Buffalo may be very fortunate But that one was not picked off.
Chris Moore to punt. Kevin Williams way back at the 10-yard line of Dallas. That's really giving Moore a lot of respect. He has to come up for the fair catch at the 16. So Dallas with the ball once again. A 43-yard punt. Buffalo leads by a touchdown.
I think he got the edge of the shoulder pads. They're calling a face mask.
Five-yard face mask penalty on number 97 on the defense. We'll assess it from the end of the run.
I'm not sure he got the face mask, Dick. But the one thing that Derek Lassick brings to, and let's watch the play. Let's see if he got the face mask.
Yeah, he scraped it, and then he got the jersey afterwards. And then he got the face mask.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Little jab.
Yep. Derek Lassick does bring more speed at that spot than Emmitt Smith had. He is quick.
First down at the 29. And a flag down.
It looked like false start Dallas. And, you know, Jimmy Johnson told us.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
Jimmy Johnson told us 5 or 6 times he just can't get this football team to concentrate. They keep losing their focus. I yell at them. It doesn't make any difference. They just can't concentrate. Troy Aikman said it's a lack of enthusiasm. It's a lack of emotion. And it shows in little ways, just like that one.
And Aikman said, you know, there's some resentment. He was open. There's resentment about the fact that we gave our owner a world championship, and he's not paying one of our stars. Michael Irvin's first catch, and he's to the 35-yard line. And Michael Irvin, one of those, his closest friend on the team is Emmitt Smith. He wore number 22 on his helmet on Monday night and may again today.
Nice little crossing route here by Irvin, uncovered. Certainly can't turn Michael Irvin loose in your defense. Odoms and Talley on the stop. Yeah, it's amazing to see how quickly this team has gone from mini dynasty to a dynasty to we're just not happy with the situation.
Moody. That's Lassick breaking into the clear. Fumble. First down, but he fumbles and it's picked up by J.D. Williams of Buffalo. And Williams to the sidelines and out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Now they're going to whistle it dead.
There's 2 officials talking on the 45 as to whether or not the ball was down. They said no, it was a fumble.
Mark Maddox made the tackle on the rookie Lassick, and it's a first down.
The play has been ruled as a fumble.
So Lassick making a good play and then not covering them. This is what Emmitt Smith gave the Cowboys. He'd make a run like this, but he wouldn't give up the ball.
He would never fumble. Of course, he's like Emmitt Smith in that he carries the ball in his left hand. And you can see the right people at the right time, and there's big brother Nate. Nate looks like he can get upset here. No, he's saying he's down. No, sorry, Nate. It is another turnover for the Dallas Cowboys, and Buffalo again with good field position.
At the 37-yard line, leading 7-0. And Thurman Thomas, a painful couple.
This Buffalo offense with this hurry up and this heat, standing there in the sun, they are redefining conditioning. They can do it here. They can do it anywhere.
Bruce Smith finding the right spot. At least the Bills are in the shadows. The Cowboys are in the sun of this late afternoon game in Irving. And there's a temperature on the field near 110 degrees. Kelly to the tight end Metzelaars, and the former basketball star at Wabash College is at the 31. Dixon Edwards, the tackler.
You know, one of the things I like about Jim Kelly, you know, that there's the thermometer, it's more than 100.
110.
Whoa. That's on Dallas's side, and they're in the sun. A guy like Kelly, you want a person with a certain attitude as a quarterback. And this guy's a gunslinger. I don't care if I threw an interception on the last drive. I'm going to go out there and fire it again.
Yeah, 78 yards passing. This is a 3rd and 3. Batted in the air. Incomplete. Jim Jeffco, the veteran from Arizona State, makes the play. And in comes Steve Christie, and this will be a long attempt for Buffalo.
A little half roll here by Jim Kelly, just 3 steps. Jeffco able to get his hand up there on Fina 70, just to knock it away. I'm not sure the receiver was open anyway.
It will be a 48-yard attempt. Frank Reich to hold. Lynn Elliott of Dallas missing from 49 earlier in this period. Plenty of distance, and it is good. 10-0. The Bills lead the Super Bowl champion Cowboys. Middle of the second quarter. Night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central Time. Sequest premiere. It's a show for the entire family. Christie's kick halfway into the end zone, and Williams has to take the touchback. Dallas starts at the 20. And Troy Aikman facing a 10-0 deficit. As we take a look at the natural gas quarterback efficiency ratings. Leaders after the first week, Montana and Sims, 2 veteran passers. Aikman and Kelly at both over 100.
Montana will stay there. He didn't play today against the Houston Oilers.
As the Oilers shut out the Chiefs 30-0. Trailing the Bills with a 10-0 advantage, and Kelly a touchdown and an interception. The touchdown 10 yards to Carwell Gardner. Gardner's first touchdown as a Bill, by the way. Aikman throws on first down underneath. Irvin gets 7 yards before Marcus Patton nails him, and we go to Jim Lampley in New York.
Or an Elway explosion in Mile High. Moments after Elway's 34-yard TD pass to Arthur Marshall, the Broncos get it back at the 12. Reggie Rivers meets some resistance at the goal line, but a Rivers runs through it, and Denver leads 14-0 over San Diego in the second. Dick?
Oh, he's been up
got
there.
that.
Montana, Idaho, he's been up there, huh?
Yeah.
River runs through it. I'm going to save that for my next episode. Lampley takes all the good stuff. To the 34 goes Derek Lassick, and a Dallas first down. 7:19 left in this first half. We'll have all the scores and highlights NFL Live at halftime for you.
Lassick, in talking to us the other day, I was humored by his line, "Emmett is the man." You started to say, you know,
The whole team feels that. He's really the soul of this Dallas
he's
team.
the absolute core of this football team, and this guy saw him at one minicamp and already knows it.
Lassick now with 27 yards on 8 tries. Aikman has a wide open Novacek, but couldn't get the ball there. Dug into the turf at the 50-yard line.
Looked like the nose tackle, Jeff Wright, was right in Troy Aikman's face. Kind of shorten up that delivery a little bit. You can see when Novacek goes out, the linebacker Patton can't quite stay with him, but if Novacek doesn't get the pressure, is it from Wright? Well, it was a late hit from 55 Maddox that put him on the ground. That was close to being a penalty.
Aikman now 5 for 12. A draw to Lassick. Hit from behind at the 40-yard line. A gain of 6. 33rd and 4. Michael Lodish backing up Jeff Wright makes the stop. We asked Lassick about his salary, and that Emmett Smith is not happy about $11 million in 4 years. He said, well, I just get peanuts. And I said, well, you get them by the bag or do you get them by the bushel? He said, I get him by the peanut.
By the peanut.
He's got a bright-eyed, good-looking guy, and he just has rookie written all over him. Eager, modest, an outstanding talent, and you have to be rooting for him. As the fans here are rooting for Emmett to come back. Aikman under pressure and can't find Kevin Williams, and Aikman again had to throw from a crowd. And Dallas on third downs now 0 for 5 in this game. It was the Cowboys best in the league by far, stopping opponents on third downs, and they've been blank 0 for 5 today.
And that was certainly a big part of their success offensively last year. Time of possession. They kept their defense out the field. They converted those third downs. You can see the look of concern on Troy Aikman's face, and it really goes through almost the entire football team.
Russell Copeland, rookie from Memphis State, waits for Jets punt to the 10. Oh, she hit. It looked like a Bill Bates tackle without even seeing a number. There it is, number 4. Bill Bates, the veteran from Tennessee, makes the stop. A 50-yard kick. Timeout at Irving, Texas.
You mentioned Charles Haley said this guy doesn't like to finish second. Anytime, anywhere.
Could get ugly, he said. Vernon Thomas kicking his way, and a typical Thomas run And near a first down at the 27-yard line before safety Darren Woodson can twist him down.
Oh, Dick, the prettiest part of that play was, boy, you see Hansen coming off here on the sideline for the Buffalo Bills, being put on the stretcher. At least the back of a pickup truck or a golf cart or something. That last run by Thurman Thomas, he just waited for the blockers to make the block. Then he accelerated up the field.
First down play, and Thomas gets a couple to the 29-yard line. Robert Jones and Jim Jeffcoat with a tackle. Thomas, just to reiterate, getting the big contract in the offseason, 4 years, $13 million. Emmett Smith says that's the market price. I'm as good as Thomas, and he has a point. I mean, many would argue that he belongs right there. So he says, I'm $2 million shy on the offer that Jerry Jones is giving me, and I'm not going to sign for apparently anything less. Underneath it goes, and a first down catch made. Looked to be Bill Brooks. Brooks, who had a touchdown catch in his debut as a Bill last week. 12 yards on that one.
Jim Kelly last night in our conversation, I said, were you surprised when this guy was available? He said, I was shocked. I mean, he comes from the Indianapolis Colts. Mark Chibrota's the head coach there. The transition of this Buffalo offense is going very easily, and this guy runs precise patterns, great hands, and an excellent leader.
Brian Thomas on first down, maybe 3. Everett and Russell Maryland with a tackle.
Now, Dick, let's look at the defensive side of the ball here. I'm looking at just about the same guys that were playing in that Super Bowl. Where is that defense? I have not seen it. I did not see it against Washington, and to this point in this football game, I've not seen it either. We're talking the same guys in the same uniforms.
Bill Hansen being taken to the Buffalo dressing room, apparently an ankle injury, the right ankle.
I do, just to continue, I don't think Dallas thought they'd have any problems with their defense this year, and through the first game and a half, almost a half, they've had major problems with their defense.
Thomas, stop, start, avoids a tackle, gets 4 yards out of nothing before Robert Jones, 55, and Tolbert, 92, can make the stop, and the clock runs to the 3:40 mark as we approach halftime with Buffalo leading 10-0. Now, these are the kinds of drives that the Cowboys mesmerized the NFL with last year. Just keep it down. Emmett Smith, second down, third, a first down on third down, another 4 downs, and Buffalo's doing it today.
And Jimmy Johnson made the point to us. Our defense was good last year because it was only on the field an average of 26 minutes a game.
4 for 8 on third downs, Buffalo today. Dallas 0 for 5. Crowd comes into the picture, and so does Kenneth Davis, who is close to a first down. It'll depend upon the spot. Going to be very close. Thomas Everett from a safety spot helping out Ken Norton.
Dick, let me go on a limb here. Last year, you don't go for it 4th and down against this defense. I think today, Marv Levy says, yeah, I'll go for it.
Not in this spot. At the 50-yard line with a 10-0 lead.
But they could stuff you so quickly last year. They not only stopped you, they just stopped your momentum, changed your thinking. I mean, all kinds of things. This defense doesn't, to this point in the season, get the respect that it had last year.
It's a big measurement for Dallas. They want the ball back before halftime. 2:48 left, and it is just short of a first down. Sprained ankle, hopefully not worse. That's the report as we receive it from Buffalo on Phil Hansen, but he is out for the rest of this game.
So easy choice, tough choice. Marv Levy sends out the punter.
Now with a 10-0 lead, and Levy is barking at the linesman who has started to spot one way and kind of weaved his way Dallas's direction. We happen to be watching it. He started marking it one way, and by the time he put his foot down, he had moved it back just about enough that it wasn't a first down. That's why Marv is barking. He saw the same play. Chris Moore, his third punt. Kevin Williams back at the 10. High kick toward the sideline, and it's out of bounds inside the 15. They'll mark it at the 12-yard line. Well, tonight on NBC, it's a big night of premieres. We hope you'll stay with it. Enough of that on television these days. 8 o'clock's the time for Sequest as we premiere it on our Sunday night NBC schedule.
I have one of those rules when it comes to movies. I see Spielberg movies, no matter who they're intended for. I see Spielberg movies.
He has a hand in this. So set alone that submarine. You feel like you're 20 fathoms deep. Aikman throwing underneath and short again. Michael Irvin the target. Jeff Wright and Bruce Smith pressuring Aikman.
Yeah, and again, this has got to be part of the Emmett factor. The Dallas Cowboys have not been able to threaten the Buffalo Bills with the run. Inside 2-8, 25. Lassick tried to chip on the block. Bruce Smith ran by both of them. Puts his helmet straight in the chest to Troy Aikman. And Troy has taken a beating in this first game and a half so far. It has to be related to the lack of respect of the running game of the Dallas Cowboys.
77 for Buffalo. Oliver Barnett from Kentucky has replaced Phil Hansen at tackle. That's Lassick out of the backfield. Darryl Talley along with Nate Odoms with a stop at the 19, short of a first down by about 3, and Dallas will let the final seconds tick to the 2-minute warning. Here in Irving, Texas, the Buffalo Bills seeking revenge, 10-0. With the scores and highlights, a little disappointed in one thing on that show. Mike Ditka, you know, this week, you see how he was dressed? I thought he was going to continue to get his wardrobe at Toys R Us.
Actually, today, he looks like Robert Hall.
He looked too professional.
Yes, that's right. Too professional.
Iron Mike, be yourself. Be yourself, Iron Mike.
Come out there with a sleeveless shirt, you know, with barbells on the
Show your tattoo. Third down and 3, and over the middle, first down to Irvin at the 30-yard line. So that's the first third down conversion for Dallas in the half. 11 yards in the play.
As big as Michael Irvin is, Nate Odoms not a particularly big corner. Good coverage, man. Dallas going with a hurry up.
Aikman to Novacek. Gain of round 7. Henry Jones and Darryl Talley, and Aikman now in the Dallas Cowboy hurry up offense. That offense that counters Buffalo's full game K-gun, Kelly gun approach.
But he still stays underneath the center. No shotgun.
Again, dumps it underneath to Derek Gainer this time. Was chopped down, first down at the 41-yard line. Tackle made by Mickey Washington, number 25 for Buffalo.
This is all set up, practiced, orchestrated throughout the week. All these players know exactly what sequence of plays are going to take place here. Then they also have an automatic play. It looks like there's a substitution coming in here for Buffalo. Timeout, Buffalo.
Stops the clock with 1:03 remaining. Dallas trying to take a bite out of the Bills' 10-0 lead. For this new season, and Dallas, should they go 0-2, face a rather difficult challenge. No team, and you've probably heard this 100 times, has gone from an 0-2 start to a Super Bowl appearance. Not winning it, just getting to the Super Bowl.
But then no team had gone to the Super Bowl with the NFL rushing champ either.
That's right.
They had him last year.
Emmett Smith, leading rusher the last 2 years, absent this season. Derek Gainer playing in that spot. That would have been an Emmett Smith reception. Gets only 3. You wonder, in Emmett Smith, what he might have earned out of that catch.
The difference between Emmett Smith and Derek Gainer, not even worth comparison. Look at the rushing yards there for Dallas.
2-1 Buffalo. Final seconds of the first half. It's a Gainer again to the sidelines and out of bounds shy of the first down at the Dallas 49. Keith Goganis, number 50, a linebacker, making the hit.
And Dick, nice drive here by the Dallas Cowboys, but what they've done in this first half, trailing 10-0, is what I see is nothing in it but finesse. And last year, this was a smash mouth football team. Well, when you've got to throw the ball to the outside, throw it underneath, it's a finesse football team. The personality of this team has changed dramatically.
Dallas has 2 timeouts left. 6 consecutive completions for Aikman as he drops and hits the tight end Novacek. Buffalo 39-yard line as they're close to field goal range now, and the second timeout used by Dallas. 29 seconds to go. Well, what a weapon Novacek is.
Yes, he is.
Taken from the Phoenix Cardinals, the Plan B in 1990. He has 3 catches today. He had 3 Monday night. He was the Kaplan champion of the WAC conference while playing for the Wyoming Cowboys, a Cowboy from Nebraska. He, even in his football years, college and professionally, a Cowboy. The drama, the emotion, one of the greatest traditions in golf returns to NBC. We bring you the 30th Ryder Cup, 10.5 hours of coverage, the final weekend of this month of September, and next weekend, in anticipation of the event, we'll take you back to the Belfry, a preview of the 30th Ryder Cup matches, a look at the players, the golf course, the history of one of golf's most exciting traditions, the Ryder Cup, all next Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. You'll be going across the pond.
Yes, I will. I'm excited to be there for back to the Belfry. Being down at Kiawah Island the last time, it was electric.
All at the 40. 10 more yards to be in a decent field goal range. Aikman underneath and off the fingertips of Novacek. It looked like a heat and humidity fatigue play.
Yeah.
The throw and the catch.
That ball just dove right into the ground. And of course, this offense designed by Norv Turner, which functioned so well last year, was an offense of balance first and foremost. Absolute balance. When they could run and throw, they were almost unstoppable.
That incomplete pass snapped a string of 7 in a row, connected with Aikman. That's the scramble, and it's Cornelius Bennett in pursuit and dragging him down inside the 25. Clock will continue to run. 14. And Dallas spends its final timeout with 12 seconds. That'll put the Cowboys in good field goal range, a 15-yard scramble.
Not something you see Troy Aikman do a lot. Not something that he likes to do, but is certainly willing to do. He's a big, strong kid. This is a foot race that Bennett's going to win with most quarterbacks. I guess Steve Young he probably would not catch, but drags him down. And Troy Aikman, when he lands here, gets a huge AstroTurf strawberry right there on his throwing elbow. It came up and it was scraped like somebody put sandpaper on it.
And the fans are booing because Lynn Elliott has come in and Jimmy Johnson says, I want to get a field goal out of this. We'll take it right now. And there you see the skin just scraped away.
Those things never heal. That'll heal February 22nd.
Yeah, and the other is the infection danger.
Sure. Although they've pretty much taken that out of AstroTurf fields, the synthetic surfaces. You don't get much infection anymore. This is an important kick here.
He missed from 49, this from 42 to get Dallas on the board. It's right down the middle. 43 yards officially, and Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys finally have some points. And it's a compliment to Aikman's scramble of 15, but also a compliment to the Buffalo defense that he had to scramble. Couldn't find a man open to hit with the pass.
They score 3. Certainly not the personality of the Dallas Cowboys, the world champion Dallas Cowboys. And you're right. There's something for Dallas to build on there. It was in the hurry-up offense, but they got it down the field.
Domino's halftime report coming up. Final seconds, 8 seconds left. The kickoff may be a play for Buffalo as you look at Walt Corey, their defensive coordinator. Talking to young Marcus Patton, the linebacker, who has replaced Shane Conlon. Conlon now a Los Angeles Ram. Russell Copeland and Kenneth Davis will retreat toward the goal line to receive the kickoff.
When you have a young guy and a veteran guy like Copeland and Davis back there, you got one guy in charge, and it's got to be Kenneth Davis. He's the one that's going to tell Copeland what to do with it, where to stand in the end zone.
This one just driven low to skid it down to Copeland at the 5. And he just doesn't even take a chance, waits for the hit with 4 seconds to go.
Very smart.
Apparently he was told don't take any chances, right. And he followed that to the letter.
That sounds like it came from Marv Levy, not from Kenneth Davis.
If you want to be with us next week in our bye week, young Mr. Copeland, you just don't even take a chance. Don't even consider it.
And as a matter of fact, most times coaches pass along information to a receiver. Tell him this is what you want, what he wants you to do. I'm sure Marv walked up and said, son, this is what you do.
Relate to that in our business, can't we?
Yeah, we always have someone telling us what to do in our ear. He's about to tell us to.
Stand by to throw to New York is what he's telling us. And indeed, we'll be back with all the scores and highlights of this second week of the NFL season after these messages from your local station. So many offensive changes as Buffalo kicking it off to Dallas to open this second half, and the Cowboys will take it at the 20-yard line. Troy Aikman. And here are the official numbers in the first half, and possession time always apparently on Dallas' side, and of course Buffalo gets hit up and down the field quicker than anybody, and yet look at that.
Look at the rushing yards there. Remember that 15 of that 52 came on a on a scramble by Troy Aikman, and 63 of the 139 total yards for Dallas came in the final drive, that hurry-up drive at the end of the first half.
Well, let's see what adjustments have been made on that Dallas offensive thinking. Lassick gets the call and gains barely a yard. Bruce Smith and Mark Maddox make the hit. Maddox in the middle there's Bruce Smith, and Maddox 55 from Northern Michigan.
Oh, that's the leg of Thurman Thomas.
Saying hello to Emmitt Smith. Well, he'd like to see him get more than Thurman, and then next time he'd say that's
absolutely. But then Emmitt would be wearing 34, and it would go back and forth.
And Jerry Jones' behalf, he's looking ahead to the salary cap, around $31 million for the team salaries next year. Underneath, and Novacek trying to drag Henry Jones, and does for 3 more yards to the 29, where it'll be 3rd and 1.
And Dick, Troy Aikman got hammered again, this time by Bruce Smith. Watch from the left-hand side. The spin move by Bruce Smith just gets him in his legs. Excellent catch by Novacek. And you're right, Jones is hanging on for dear life. Watch this move. Oh, just can't quite get there.
Block that.
You don't. Reggie White, I think, was the first guy to use that move, and Bruce Smith has perfected it.
He's got to be an athlete, and Smith was a great athlete. High school, was on the state basketball championship team. Son of a boxer.
Nothing.
Drilled, stuffed as Darryl Talley, almost as if he knew what was coming, stops that play for a loss on 3rd and 1. And that's what they're saying. They can't run inside.
No. There is no chance here whatsoever. You can't blame that on Derek Lassick. You can see that Buffalo is beginning to feed off of this, and conversely, the Dallas Cowboys are beginning to wonder, was it last year we won the Super Bowl, or was it 2 or 3 years ago?
Now Jet to punt with Copeland, the rookie, at the other end. A wobbly short kick. Copeland, fair catch. He had a chance to run it. Now he does run, and that'll be a penalty.
Rookie mistake.
He realized after signaling fair catch that he really had a chance to run that one, but had already stopped defensive play with a fair catch signal. Penalty.
Illegal fair catch. Young man, they don't even allow that on the street, in the backyard, in the playground.
Well, it was kind of a weak wave, wasn't it? It wasn't a very clear one. He thought, well, maybe no one noticed.
Invalid fair catch signal on number 85 on the return team. 5-yard penalty from the spot. First down.
27-yard line. Buffalo gets its first second half possession tonight on NBC. Premier night for the 93-94 season. A new eyewitness video. There's a young fellow in a place where young people identify. A very important role played by a young computer whiz, a dolphin. They got it all. The whole family will enjoy. Scheider sent you a hat to wear over there in England while you're covering the golf.
I'll proudly wear it.
Robert Jones on the coverage as Thomas that pass incomplete. Marv Levy, he has been as angry on the sidelines and animated as we've seen him for the whole game.
Yeah.
He wants this win.
Absolutely, big time. No question about it.
Second down. They go underneath to Brooks, and he rolls across the 40 and finally touched at the 43. Got a yard and a half on the roll. 14 yards.
Excellent read by Jim Kelly. He is going to the outside first. That's not there. Comes back to Brooks on the inside. Brooks, the veteran, knows there's no reason to make any more yards. Look at the little fingers on Bill Brooks' hands from catching balls. And I said, you look like an old catcher. He said, well, I did play some catcher when I was a kid.
Almost served as hooks to make sure that ball stays in there. One of the surest-handed players in the league is Brooks, who finished his Colts career apparently number 2 to the Immortal Raymond Berry in Colts catching history. While with the Colts, he nabbed 411.
Got the meat ring there too in the offseason. Told us about it. Really liked it.
What a thrill. He said, I picked his brain immediately. How can I be better? Kelly goes down. Tony Tolbert with his first sack of the season. 2 today, his second today.
That was a good choice by Jim Kelly. We saw in the Super Bowl a couple of times when Jim Kelly threw it up and Dallas took advantage of it. This time he just puts it down, takes the sack. Hey, we're all right, 3rd down and long yardage, but I'm not going to give it to the Dallas Cowboys.
Kelly out of the shotgun. And now close to Brooks. Charles Haley putting the pressure on Kelly.
That was a 47 defense, Dick. 4-man rush, 7 defensive backs. There's Fina, 70 on Charles Haley again. And Haley is right there at his feet. Of course, this preseason, Fina's been very, very busy. In the preseason, he faced Swilling of Detroit, Dolman of the Vikings, Derek Thomas of Kansas City. So he is really getting his lessons in a hurry. And Charles Haley today.
Chris Moore to Kevin Williams. Good kick with heavy pressure. Fair catch by Williams at the 17-yard line. Dallas has its second possession, down 10-3 in the 3rd.
It just feels right. By Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your bud. By the American Express card, don't leave home without it. And by MCI, the company that brings you proof positive.
Dallas Cowboys have scored 42 points in annihilating Buffalo's hopes in their 3rd straight Super Bowl chance. Have scored but 3 today. Troy Aikman for the 5th straight possession starts from his 20th or 20-yard line or less. Play action on 1st down. Wide open over the middle is Irvin. Nate Odoms gets him by the jersey at the 37. 18 yards on the play.
Dick, an excellent play action fake by Troy Aikman. And you see Irvin gets inside the receiver again. It's the double zone. And the linebackers were sucked up thinking it was going to be a run there. You see Talley come in late. Play works perfectly. When you've got the threat of the running game, it holds those linebackers at the line of scrimmage. The middle of the defense opens up.
Irvin to 2 straight Pro Bowls. 78 catches to lead the Cowboys last year. Here's Lassick stumbling through a hole to the 39. Cornelius Bennett grounds him.
Nick, let's look at the double zone as used by the Buffalo Bills in the first half. You'll watch the cornerbacks when the receivers go down the field, they chuck them, and then what they're doing is they're riding with them as they go down the field. The safeties rotate out. You see the running back and the 2 running backs and the tight end are going to run around in the middle, but Buffalo really doesn't respect what they're doing here in the middle because of the lack of Emmitt Smith. Watch what happens. Everybody drops back. Nate Odoms comes underneath Irvin, makes the interception. It was just a lack of respect for the running game.
On the ground for short yardage to the 40. Mark Maddox stuffing Lassick. And the rookie from Alabama has had a tough afternoon here in his home debut.
And you can't put this on Derek Lassick. You can't say it's his fault. He doesn't have the reputation of twice leading the NFL in rushing. He doesn't have the reputation of bouncing off people and turning a 2-yard gain into a 30-yard run. And he comes out on long yardage situations. In this instance, 3rd and 5. Darrell Johnson or Derek Gainer's no threat like Emmitt Smith.
Aikman had to throw in a hurry and dropped by Irvin. Might have been a 1st down. It was right at the yardstick. Nate Odoms on the coverage, but Michael Irvin running before he caught the ball. And Aikman doing a great job to unload that one.
Blitz right up the middle. Bruce Smith, and it looked like Henry Jones, number 20, right in his face. And Buffalo has done one thing very well today. They have kept people in Troy Aikman's face.
Buffalo, Bruce Smith and Jim Kelly and all the rest reminding us, hey, the core of a team that has gone to 3 straight Super Bowls, and yeah, we didn't win them. We got to 3, is still in Buffalo.
Yes.
And don't count us out.
Not only in Buffalo, but in uniform.
What a kick. Jet airborne to the 9. Copeland returns to the 20. Tackled by Matt Vanderbeek. Timeout with 9:14 left in the third. Back at Texas Stadium, you're looking at Kent Hull, the All-Pro center of the Bills. They're hopeful he'll be ready in 2 weeks. There's a bye for Buffalo next week, and Marv Levy says there's a chance he'll be back. They miss him, tripped in the backfield. Thurman Thomas, and there was Haley and Casillas back to that center position. So John Davis, who had a serious knee surgery 2 years ago and came back to the club middle of last year, is at center. You have a new man at left tackle with Wolford gone, so the offensive line somewhat rebuilt. Brooks showing those great hands as he's tackled at the 27. Kevin Smith, perfect coverage. Brooks latches on to the pass. It'll be close to a first down.
Interesting that Bill Brooks told us that this is the same offense that they run in Indianapolis, but said I had to give it to Jim Kelly. Kelly said, I like this route. I want you to run the in this way, the slant that way.
3rd and 2. Brooks falls down, and Buffalo will have to punt. He admitted to us that this K-gun attack wears you out. He said, I admitted to Kelly, I get tired. And Kelly said, well, I'll give you a blow occasionally.
Kevin Smith on the bump and run, yeah, the legs did go out from underneath, and sometimes that happens on the AstroTurf, but he was certainly covered. There had to be somebody else open.
Well, the Bills blanked in their last 6 third-down attempts. With another punt for Kevin Williams. Same time as same town as Ray Guy, and Williams a shorter kick this time at the 36-yard line. Thompson, Georgia. Chris Moore, 10-3 and a timeout. Bills on the sidelines using a little air conditioning unit. Cool off. That was Mark Pike, John Davis. As Dallas, trailing 10-3, 8 minutes left in the third quarter, takes over at the 36-yard line. Pretty good field position for a change. But the results of Lassick into that Buffalo defense doesn't. Marcus Patton stops him after a gain of 2.
Well, we've seen Lassick, remember in the Super Bowl, an important part of the offense of the Dallas Cowboys is Emmitt Smith's ability to stay on the field all the time. Here in pass protection, watch the block that he puts on Cornelius Bennett. And by design, you can see that Dallas takes 63 Giesick, slides him out. Bennett is Emmitt Smith's man. They have that much confidence. Another part short.
It's easy to spend the other guy's money.
Oh, yeah.
There's a throw to Daryl Johnston, and he's in Buffalo territory at the 49 with a first down. A dozen on that throw.
One of the real unsung heroes, I think, in the NFL. Johnston seems to do all the dirty work. He's the lead blocker. He runs a little flat pattern here. Darryl Talley's the man in coverage. They don't throw it to him much, so the coverage is not particularly tight. Nice completion, first down.
Family of athletic talent. His sister Joanne, a member of the 2-time national champion soccer team at the University of Rochester, was the goalkeeper. On first down, Aikman. Kevin Williams, who has the catch. He's down by contact at the 43 of Buffalo. Let's go for an update to New York. Here's Jim Lafley. Seattle 18-12 last week. Second down and 3. Lassick driving close to the 40, shy of the first down. Talley and Darby made the tackle along with Mike Lodish, who's in at defensive tackle, number 73.
That's certainly a big part of what Emmitt does. In my estimation, here's part of what the Emmitt factor is. When you face Dallas with Emmitt Smith, the defense less respect for the run because you've got to plan all week. They have somebody at the line of scrimmage to stop Emmitt Smith. Pass protection, we just showed that big block. Less time of possession without him because Emmitt Smith routinely turns a 4 or 5 yard play with a breaking a tackle. He's 20 or 25 yards down the field. And that allows the offense more patience when he's here. When he's not here, you get less patience if you're the offensive coordinator. The net result is not a lot of time. I mean, he's such a huge factor on this team.
You could hear a chant in the background. It's not full chorus of these 60,000 fans, but it's "We want Emmitt."
Yes.
Dave Hamilton, the umpire, took a solid bump on that last play, and there's Jerry Jones, the owner, the businessman. He says that I'm going to be within the salary cap. The others who have spent freely are not, and I'm going to be in the advantage, maybe disadvantage this year without Emmett if he didn't come back. But the next 6 years, I'll have the advantage over others. As Darrell Johnston on a 3rd down pass has a 1st down at the 37. Jimmy Jones the play for Buffalo.
Excuse me, Dick. He did a lot of this against the 49ers in the NFC Conference Championship game. All that he got. You're right about Jerry Jones. No question. It's his money.
Plan, and it's a plan.
It's a plan. It's his money. It's his team. But if you poll Dallas Cowboy players and coaches and said, who is the one guy on this team that stands at its core, I think 99% would say Emmitt Smith.
More than Troy Aikman.
More than Troy Aikman. He is the core and the soul of the team.
Aikman off play action and dumps it off to Lassick. Hit immediately by Mark Maddox.
Dallas is struggling. I mean, they're moving the ball down the field here, but it's been very difficult for them offensively today because of the weapon not there. And I thought it was interesting that Jimmy Johnson said, you know, we were all hoping that
Superman would come at the last minute.
He'd pop out of a cake. He said this week I think reality set in. We know he's not going to be here this week, and he may not be here for a while.
Well, from O.J. Simpson's report on NFL Live early today, both with Emmitt Smith and Jerry Jones, it certainly looked like they're at a total impasse. Underneath, and Novacek eludes Maddox. He's inside the 15. The deepest penetration for Dallas today.
Not a very complicated pattern. Straight drop back. Watch Troy Aikman. He throws out of his shoe. Novacek just the turnout. The linebacker. That'll be a little more complete. That's Mark Maddox just kind of brushing him. You got to get Novacek on the ground. Watch Troy Aikman's shoe come right off. One of the quickest guys away from center to the setup in the NFL.
Ball at the 14-yard line. This is the longest Dallas drive of the day. Underneath, incomplete, and that was Nate Odoms closing on Michael Irvin.
That was nice. That was perfect timing. Irvin runs the inside route. It just, watch Odoms. Perfect timing.
Fans in Dallas see it with different eyes.
Yes, they do. But that's perfect timing. Remember, the guy throwing the flag is behind Odoms.
A Badger at Wisconsin, where a couple of years he had to work and practice against Al Toon, the retired New York Jets receiver.
Dick, this is 2nd and 10. This is 4-down area for Dallas. They need a touchdown just psychologically.
They go to 2 tight ends here and give it to Derek Lassick, tripped up by Cornelius Bennett. It'll be 3rd down and long. The Buffalo mid-range missile, Bennett. Happy now that he's positioned outside, not playing him inside as he was asked to do last year.
Frankly, I think playing Bennett outside makes this defense of Buffalo's a little better, because now you've got a pass rusher from the outside with Bennett, Smith on the other side, and the 2 young linebackers on the inside, Patton and Maddox. They're going to get a lot of attention. Buffalo likes the way they play inside.
Dallas, after starting 0 for 5 in 3rd down conversions, 3 for 10. Aikman ducks the rush, but can't get away from Henry Jones. Bennett got a little piece of him, and Jones moving quickly from a safety spot to make the tackle, and that forces a field goal try for Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys, trying to keep those emotions up.
Yep.
But you know he's burning inside.
Is he ever? And he doesn't have a lot of confidence in Elliott. He did not have a particularly good season or preseason either. Cornelius Bennett, depth, Derek Gainer, and Derek Gainer was the primary receiver on that last play. That's why Aikman had to run.
This one is a 30-yard attempt to make it 10-6. Novacek, who did not hold last year, Berline had that role. It's wide to the right, and they'll be groaning in Irving now. Longest best drive of the day ends with a miss from 30 yards by Lynn Elliott. Deep in the 3rd, Buffalo retains a 10-3 advantage. Cowboy fans trying to help this Dallas club, but missed 30-yard field goal, and now it's Thurman Thomas for 5 yards as the Cowboys have had 10 possessions, and much like the pattern on Monday night against Washington, no long drives. They only had 3 possessions that lasted over 3 minutes at Washington. Look today, only 2 over 3 minutes, and the last was the longest, nearly 6 minutes they held the ball, 10 plays, only to miss from 30 yards on a field goal try.
And that's one of the reasons why the defensive numbers of the Dallas Cowboys have gone down in this first game and a half. This defense is not used to playing this much on a weekly basis.
Somehow that finds Pete Metzelaars. It looked as if it was intended for Carwell Gardner. They were running in tandem, and Gardner, who caught the touchdown early in this game, has a 13-yard pickup.
The pattern is if I throw it low, Gardner gets it, and if I throw it high, Metzelaars gets it. At 6'7½", the bricklayer, Pete Metzelaars, gets it.
Two-time Little All-America in basketball. Thomas driving for about 3 across the 40-yard line. Robert Jones and Dixon Edwards, the linebackers, in on the hit.
You can see the Dallas Cowboys defense there. This is the second week in a row now. They have spent, wrap them up, he's saying, wrap them up. But he admitted to it. They don't listen to me anymore. I'm not getting through to them.
Well, it isn't. You know, every coach that has won a Super Bowl would parrot what Jimmy Johnson is saying to the reporters now. It's Metzelaars with flags down. A catch at the 50-yard line, a first down if. I mean, there's just that natural human instinct. You've won the big one. You come back the next year figuring, hey, I mean, I've won it. We're the best team. And then you're maybe not the best when you lose the top runner in the league. And the tendency is you don't. You're busy writing books and taking bows and going to parties.
Penalty is declined. First down.
Penalty against Charles Haley. And by the way, Charles Haley's comment was, hey, when you win that, I said, you know, you won that Super Bowl ring, a couple of them in San Francisco. He says, well, you do kind of look around.
Happened to us.
Yeah, hey, we did a pretty good job here. I kind of like what we did. Kind of sat a little bit, enjoyed it.
Meanwhile, every opponent, there's a big play by Jimmy Jones and Russell Maryland, the 2 young tackles from Miami of Florida.
Maybe the only way Dallas can get control of this football game is some kind of a turnover by the offense. Richard 51 pulls Davis is out on Tolbert, and it looks like ran right around Parker. 74 Glenn Parker allowed Russell Maryland around there for the sack.
His first today, the 3rd by the Dallas defense. Jimmy Jones, who had that touchdown in the Super Bowl, a 2-yard fumble return. Kelly to Brooks, and Brooks gets away from Larry Brown and fights for a first down. Dallas 38-yard line. Big play. That ball was there for either man, Brown or Brooks, to catch, and Brooks with a better hands and position at the end of the 3rd period. 10-3 Buffalo. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. With Bob Trumpy, Dick Enberg, we go to the 4th quarter. A surprising score in a couple of ways. One, 2 high-powered offenses limited to a touchdown, and the fact that the Dallas Cowboys continue to struggle. And at home, they thought this would be the answer. Home crowd, other than Emmitt Smith. What's wrong?
It's profound. Reverse.
And Thurman Thomas has to keep the ball. That was well read by Dallas, and Andre Reed just didn't get a chance to take the handoff from Thomas as Norton and Casillas read it well. Let's go back to the last play of the 3rd quarter. Big catch by Brooks, 20 yards, when Larry Brown had a chance for an interception.
Especially when you consider it's 2nd and 18. Great confidence by Kelly to throw it into Brooks in that crowd, knowing he'll get it. Thomas Everett, a big tackler. Smith, a big tackler, and he's able to get the 20 yards in the first down to keep the drive alive.
2nd and long. Kelly eluding Tolbert and throws to the sideline for Thomas, incomplete.
Now, for a guy who had his knee drained on Wednesday, he looks pretty agile out there. Now, Tolbert misses him completely. Was it Tolbert? Have I got the right number? Yeah, it is Tolbert, 92. Misses him completely. Look at him. He keeps standing in there. He sees Casillas coming.
He
Kelly
is a tough man.
Absolutely.
33-year-old Jim Kelly.
7 DBs now for the Dallas Cowboys. The trap works perfect here to Thurman Thomas.
3rd and 15. Here comes Haley, and he's got him. Jimmy Jones and Haley, but Jones taking advantage of Kelly having to move up away from the outside rush. 4th sack for Dallas. They had none against the Redskins. So from the 49 of Dallas, that's no field goal on this up. An opportunity that presented itself earlier.
There's Haley from the top, and they've got a tight end. Why they have a tight end? Rob Awol trying to stop Charles Haley is beyond me. I would not volunteer for that job.
Chris Moore's punt. Williams lets it bounce. And Tasker, does he save that? What a play by Steve Tasker. Is he about the best special teams player in the league? Many would argue he is. He had the block punt in the Super Bowl. Midair, gets that ball, not on a bounce, on the fly, mind you. This ball is not bounced, and gets it back in play. A very legal play, and Dallas starts from inside its 5.
Oh, my.
My.
On NBC is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. By Castrol Syntec, the synthetic oil that protects in ways other oils can't. By the American gas industry. Gas, America's best energy value. And by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
The hustle and presence of Steve Tasker to be able to keep his toes in the field of play, leap midair, and bat the ball back into the field of play. Perfectly legal, and Troy Aikman has to start from his 3-yard line. Classic, the lone running back, and the rookie gets the call. Fumbles! And who's got it at the 1-yard line? Could be the game if it's Buffalo.
That's 2 fumbles by Lassick. Am I correct today? 2 fumbles.
It appears the Cowboys have recovered. Yes. Oh, Jimmy Johnson. Cheeks even redder watching that.
From behind the offense, who hits him? 91.
Jeff Wright.
He strips the ball away.
Lassick, to his credit, with his nose buried in the carpet, able to reach out and recover the fumble himself.
Look at Wright, 91 handle. Stepnoski, the center, 53. Stepnoski, a wonderful technician in center. Just overpowered there by Jeff Wright.
Cowboys. 2nd and 10. Lassick with fake, and the throw outside to Novacek. The tight end gets a first down. That's a big play. Dallas gets some running room out across the 15 as Novacek a 14-yard catch.
Beautiful play-action fake by Troy Aikman.
6 catches for the tight end.
Watch what happens. You can see how Biscuit bites on the play-action. 97. Novacek out there by himself. Does pick up the first down. That gives him a little breathing room, but you got to throw it to get the breathing room.
13 minutes left, 4th quarter. Buffalo leads by a touchdown, 10-3. Aikman to Irvin with some room to run, but Jones runs him out of bounds and tackles him late. That could be a flag. There was no need for Jones to bring him down when he finally tackled him 2 steps out of bounds, but not ruled as a foul.
Just a crossing pattern. Nothing real fancy, but Michael Irvin with that great size, that long stride. Excellent timing by Troy Aikman. Hits him in the middle of the stride. And then at the sideline.
He tried to let go.
Yeah, he let him go. That's a legal hit on the sideline. Big pickup, 22 yards by Michael Irvin.
He has 5 catches, 70 yards today. So from the 2-yard line out to the 37 moves Dallas. And Aikman warms up the right arm again. To the sideline, complete again. Irvin out of bounds at the Buffalo 46. This is the Dallas Cowboy team that terrorized the league a year ago.
Yeah, isn't this what the Washington Redskins did to the Dallas Cowboys a few nights ago in Washington? A 99-yard drive. Look at that setup. Perfect weights. Nice delivery. Irvin so big on the sideline. When he senses the defenders behind, he just stands there, making himself a little bigger, and just absorbs that football. Beautiful receiver.
Irvin with 6, Novacek with 7 catches. Alvin Harper has been shut out so far. He was the big man against Washington. Lassick with 2 or 3 to about the 42 of Buffalo, and a chance for an NFL update. Let's go to Jim in New York.
tell you, Dick, some people thought Boomer Esiason couldn't still play, but he's been red hot ever since the second half of last week's game. Here's the third quarter flea flicker with Blair Thomas pitching it back to Esiason. He throws 46 yards downfield to Terrence Mathis. They couldn't score a TD, but the 39-yard Carrie Blanchard field goal set up by that has put the Jets on top in Miami, 17-14. Back to Dick.
So Boomer and the Jets, that reputation of playing Miami tough down in Florida.
Fumble.
And it's Aikman to the 36-yard line. That'll be close to a first down. Marcus Patton made the stop. First down, Dallas.
I don't think that was intentional. I mean, it did not look like it was intentional. He never gets it, goes down on his knee, and you see the linebackers rush right by him. It's a good thing that Patton is there to make the tackle. There was no one there in the defensive backfield.
Aikman has scrambled for 21 yards today. Lassick has 50.
Well, maybe we put that play in. That worked pretty well.
Time remaining in the fourth quarter. Buffalo 10, Dallas 3. Aikman with Jones on him, and he throws it out of bounds. There won't be a penalty, even though Novacek was tackled by Cornelius Bennett because it was not a catchable ball. Aikman was throwing it away.
You can see the signal by the official. You'll see from the left-hand side the strong safety, Henry Jones, 20 on the blitz. Johnston picks him up, and then he's just throwing it away. There's no way in the world. I mean, the plus side is you're protecting the quarterback with that new rule. The downside is there's going to be some contact on plays like that, and some people are going to get upset. But that's, you got to protect the franchise players.
Buffalo's defensive scheme, that's the third time Jones, the safety man, has gone on a blitz.
He wouldn't have done that with Emmitt Smith running the ball.
Here's Derek Gainer slipping outside. And the former Raider has about 7 with a 28 of Buffalo. Nate Odoms coming up from the corner to make the tackle.
Blitzes are eaten alive by screens, draws, and a great running back.
And Emmitt Smith fits that whole package.
The whole package. You can see that Buffalo kind of stays on the line of scrimmage here. Gainer runs over Nate Odoms. Another good drive for Dallas.
2 linebackers out for the Bills and 2 defensive backs go in. So Buffalo with 6 DBs. And third and a long 2. Gainer, big hole. And he falls forward at the 25. First down. Gainer, 240-pounder from Florida A&M.
Buffalo was late getting their defense on the field and deployed. You can see that Wright misses the tackle, and if he doesn't get a hold of his knee, Gainer is still running.
Well, the 10th play of the drive coming up, 10-3. This is about where Dallas was on the last possession, and moved a little tighter and then missed the 30-yard field goal. This drive started back at the 2-yard line. Lassick, who almost fumbled at 2 of the Bills at the 2 on the first play of this long series. Gets a couple. Marcus Patton from UCLA. Lots of UCLA presence on both sides of this game. Patton, who grew up in Los Angeles. College walk-on with the Bruins as you watch Jimmy Johnson looking for the big offensive play.
I think after the last attempt by Lynn Elliott, again, we're in 4-down area here for Dallas. Take no chances with the kicker.
2nd and 8. Aikman underneath. Irvin. First down to the 11-yard line before J.D. Williams can drag him down. Jimmy Johnson can taste it now. A tying touchdown.
Irvin is a tough receiver, Dick. Big, strong, knows how to spread himself out. Watch him fight for extra yards. Hangs onto the football. Big play from big play players, Michael Irvin included.
7 catches to match his total on Monday night against the Redskins. 12 yards away from a tying touchdown. The Cowboys with 7:47 left in the fourth period. Aikman to Novacek. No flag. Marcus Patton, in the eyes of many, appeared to be premature in the hit. Cornelius Bennett was pressuring Aikman to throw right now.
And you'll see the whole thing happen. Here's Bennett. Aikman rolls out. Well, that's good defense. I mean, I don't know. If you're a Cowboy fan, you say he was early with the contact, and if you're not, that's good defense.
Slow it down, and on the slower version, it appeared to be a penalty. Henry Jones asked to be taken out as Aikman just beats the clock. Underneath, juggling catch by the fullback Johnston. They're at the 5-yard line. Talley saved the touchdown. Talley saved the tally.
Just a little fullback circle. This time good protection for Aikman, although Smith does get in there. Stepnoski, 53, picks it up. Not a clean catch, but a catch nonetheless. Well,
3rd down and 3.
Let's see what they call here. Do they call a run? Vlasic in there? No, they got Johnston. They got the nickel package in. 3 wide receivers.
The Bills counter with Washington, and Jones comes back in.
Reverse.
Kevin Williams. That's going to be a Dallas touchdown. You saw the shot of Jimmy Johnson 3-4 plays ago, and you almost sensed that he was setting up a play like that one. Kevin Williams, the rookie from Miami, recruited by Jimmy Johnson from Dallas to go to college in South Florida. His first touchdown for the Cowboys, and here's the point for a tie. Lynn Elliott able to punch it through, and it's 10-all.
It was well executed by the Dallas Cowboys. You'll see him come from the left. Nice little escort out front. Nate Newton. He gets it in. That was a 98-yard drive. Wow.
It's going swimmingly here in the 4th. That's Kenneth Gant. He does the shark. It's a Michael Jackson inspired. Maybe Sequest inspired. I don't know, in the spirit of our premiere today.
Maybe. But it took him forever to get to that dance, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. He's been waiting a long time to use it. He's their special team star and trying to rev up the crowd as well. They've been quiet, the 60,000 plus here at Texas Stadium. But they tied at 10. 6:51 to go. Kickoff. That won't be returned. Copeland sits on it. 20-yard line for Buffalo. 6 minutes, 46 seconds left in regulation time. What a drive. 14 plays, 7 of them rushes, 7 of them passes, 98 yards. The rookie gets the touchdown. Tie it at 10. It took 3.5 quarters, but Dallas finally with a touchdown to tie the Bills at 10 as owner Jerry Jones looks on. And look at the switch in possession time. Dallas really controlling the ball in the second half. And overall now, 30.5 minutes to Buffalo's 22.5. Again, there's the Carwell-Gardner for 4 yards as Buffalo comes out with 2 tight ends in this situation. Russell Maryland and Robert Jones with a stop.
Well, it's been a while since Buffalo mounted any kind of offense, Dick. We know that. And I think this is their high percentage offense. 2 tight ends, big fullback, and Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas to the 29-yard line, a yard shy of the first down. Ken Norton, who had 19 tackles in the game Monday night, and much quieter today.
Well, you have to admire this Buffalo team to come down in this heat and humidity. Second game of the season, and execute this hurry-up offense, this run to the line of scrimmage offense as much as they have.
Huddling now.
Yeah. Short yardage.
They've not converted a first down in the second half. 0 for 3. And they're 0 for the last 7. Kelly having trouble with his team hearing the signals. The crowd a factor. And Thomas loses a yard. Ken Norton 51 was in the hole. Does that sound familiar?
Dick, watch 75 Tony Casillas. Across the line of scrimmage, he makes Thurman Thomas jump outside, and Norton is there to pounce on him again. Yeah, I do remember that. That does sound familiar. Ken Norton.
Stuffing a Buffalo's chance, and that was perhaps the turning point play on the goal line in Pasadena when it was 14-7. So Moore has to punt. Buffalo 3 and out. Kevin Williams, the touchdown maker, has a return chance. Ooh, that was close to being a fumble. And they do force the fumble. Who's recovered it? Buffalo says it's our ball.
So does the official.
Oh, my. Williams dodged one bullet when he avoided that slap from behind that he didn't see, but kept jitterbugging until Buffalo surrounded him and stripped him of the ball.
Nick, Steve Tasker was the guy who almost makes the first strip. Watch 89 come back in your picture. Right there. He does hang on to it. Get on the ground. Who finally pulls away? I can't really tell.
He fumbled a punt against the Redskins. It was critical.
Let's see if we can pick it up.
53. It looked as if he was able to rip it away. Marcus Patton. And look who's right there to recover it. Tasker. What a big play. 10 all tie, and the Bills almost in field goal range at the 34. Well, they are. Christie's kicked them from over 50.
Throw, a pass.
But no one open. So Thomas has to run it out of bounds. Now that was a new wrinkle. Thomas has never thrown a pass in the NFL, but his man Reed was well covered. Didn't fool Dallas a bit.
Kevin Smith, 26, stayed right with Andre Reed.
Is that unbelievable? 9 fumbles lost in 16 games a year ago, Dallas, as they protected it. 6 coughed up in less than 2 games this year.
Well, that'll make a difference in the outcome of games. Just ask Buffalo.
Here's Thomas protecting the ball and driving inside the 25. That'll be close, I believe, a first down, depending on where they spot it. Right on the 25. And they'll ask for a measurement. Bernie Kukar, the referee.
That's a bread and butter offense of the Buffalo Bills. They give the ball to Thurman Thomas, and basically everybody maintains contact with the defensive guy, and then just let Thurman Thomas pick the spot he wants to run.
And don't you think this is where that hurry-up offense, that K-gun offense, is most effective on a turnover play? Teams have that natural tendency of defense. Here we are back out there again, and there's a little relaxing. Boom, they hit you with a quick play.
Yes, except there's 4:28 to go in this football game. There is no reason for them to hurry up other than just personality. You know, you should try to conserve some time here.
Even if you do score, you're going to leave too much time for Dallas.
There's no hurry here. But yes, the hurry up does lock you into personnel, and it does kind of, it affects your concentration because you're never off the field. You feel like you never get a deep breath.
Lynn Elliott has missed a couple of field goals in this game, 1 from 30, 1 from 49. Steve Christie, if they don't make it, would be shooting about a 47-yarder. It's to the fullback, Nate Turner, 255-pounder, and looked as if he was able to wedge in there for the yard and a first down. Yes. And the clock will run. 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, tied at 10.
Dick, looks like Carwell Gardner is hurt down on the field. He was the lead blocker on that play. There he is. Being attended to.
Gardner scored his first NFL touchdown in the first quarter on a 10-yard pass from Jim Kelly. Ball at the 29-yard line as the Buffalo medical crew attends to Carwell Gardner. Will take this time out.
We used to have a fullback back in the 70s for the Cincinnati Bengals. His name was Charles Booby Clark. And Carwell Gardner got Booby back there. Running back run right in the back of the blocking back, and the blocking back takes the bench.
Fortunately, Gardner off under his own power, appears to be okay.
That's smarts.
First down at the 24 of Dallas, tied at 10. Thurman Thomas gets 5 on first down.
Goodness.
Take a look at Thurman Thomas's total rushing and receiving in this game. Hadn't been a pass receiver much. Clock ticking down, both teams with all 3 timeouts. Thomas has 73 yards. 23 carries. As you look at Derek Lassick, had over 50 yards the last we counted.
Dick, maybe the most important stat there is the 23 carries, not the 73 yards for Thurman Thomas. That's 23 plays. You can give it to somebody.
Plus 2 catches. There he goes again. Robert Jones, the middle backer, meets him head on. And Thomas Everett jumping for a timeout. So Dallas will spend 1 right here. It's tied at 10 in Irving, Texas. Let's go to New York for this report.
All right, Dick, let's take a look at a match point from Flushing entirely befitting the absence of drama in Pete Sampras's quiet destruction of Cedric Cornbread Pioline. With the victory, Sampras adds the U.S. Open title to the Wimbledon championship he won before your eyes earlier this summer, remains #1 in the world. We go back to Dick Enberg.
Cornbread, you pan de maize. Cedric Pioline. Well, Pete Sampras, congratulations. The Wimbledon and U.S. Open championships for the 21-year-old Californian. And here, where we're getting close to game, set, and match. You know what we need right now? A reminder about what's up on NBC. Hey, is that good luck or what? Monday night. Definitely the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and Burt Reynolds will be his guest, and obviously Reynolds always a delightful guest, but there'll be more to the question than one might imagine. And then don't forget, Conan O'Brien debuts Monday night after the Tonight Show. On 3rd down and short, Thomas is stopped after about a yard. He's a couple yards short of a first down. That's the second timeout called by Dallas. 2:52 left, and Steve Christie coming in to try to hit a winning field goal.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oils. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
A battered, exhausted Thurman Thomas leaving the field. The Buffalo Bills, after the recovery of the fumble by Kevin Williams on the punt, have it at the 22. And Steve Christie, their reliable field goal kicker, he missed only 6 times in 30 attempts a year ago, made his only field goal last week. This one from 35 yards. Across the border in Canada is a big hockey fan and a fan of Warren Moon in the CFL. Steve Christie. Right into the yogurt sign. And any flavor, it tastes good for Buffalo for the moment. They regain the lead at 13-10. Make mine that peanut butter. I kind of like
peanut butter.
2:49 to go.
That must be a California tradition. Peanut butter yogurt.
Yeah, that's a great flavor. Have you never had that?
I'll
it's
take
on
your
me.
word.
It's on me. And next time you're out on the coast.
I'm more of a meat and potatoes guy, you know, being from the Midwest.
Turnover story, so important. Both coaches just preach it. Most every coach would say the single most important statistic. It certainly was in the Super Bowl. And the Buffalo Bills, and somewhat of a turnabout is fair play, using the turnover today to have the lead for the moment. 3.
As a matter of fact, Jimmy Johnson stated it prior to the Super Bowl. He said, we're going after the turnover. That's what we want.
That was the night before the game.
The night before the game. He predicted we're going after the football. Get the turnover. They did.
9 of
produced the win. And now the turnovers have hurt his football team in the first 2 games of the season. Again, it's the lack of focus, that little extra concentration of hanging on to the football.
And don't you think it's also without Emmitt Smith, the younger players trying to do too much?
Sure.
Lassick and Kevin Williams both fumbling today.
Question. No question whatsoever. A lot of people are trying to replace the performance of Emmitt Smith.
Now the pressure will be on the Buffalo defense. Dallas will get its final chance, and Christie, oh, he's a terrific all-around kicker. Doesn't give you a chance to return many, and Aikman will get it at the 20-yard line. Well, we asked Jimmy Johnson, what did he do after the Super Bowl? He said, I took 5 whole days off. Went down the Caribbean. He loves to scuba dive, and had this picture in his office, swimming with sharks. Yeah, there's an obvious segue here somewhere.
I can't imagine what it is. Does it involve Sequest?
That he loves dolphins as well.
Oh, and a dolphin. Yes, he'll be glued to the television tonight watching.
You know
Sequest.
that he won't. I mean, this is one time tonight he won't be thinking about football. At 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock here in Dallas, he's going to be watching
Sequest.
For 17. Darryl Talley makes the tackle, and Aikman, who was rushed off his feet in the first half, has had more time in the second half, and Irvin has been wide open in this half.
And Buffalo also going with kind of that prevent mentality, giving these receivers an awful lot of room here.
In that prevent victory mentality?
Yes, in a lot of instances, that's exactly what it is.
Again, wide open underneath. Novacek, about 10 more, close to another first down. Talley and Jones with a tackle. Remember, Dallas has only one timeout left, plus this timeout for the 2-minute warning. Buffalo leads by 3. Lynn Elliott, he's missed 2 today. One from 49, an easy one from 30. His longest, 53 yards, which means that Dallas would like to get the ball at least to the 35-yard line of Buffalo. It's currently at the 48. Jerry Jones and a lot of nervous Texans rooting for the Cowboys to rally in the final 2 minutes. They have one timeout left. They go against 6 defensive backs. Aikman. And incomplete. Riding down the receiver, Michael Irvin, was J.D. Williams, but the pass was not there.
Imagine what it feels like on the field if with Jerry Jones' exasperation there. What did I get in this business?
The Cowboys were second to the 49ers in points scored last year. They averaged nearly 26 points a game. At this point, almost 2 full games into this season, they've scored a total of 26.
They can't all be Emmitt Smith. Just can't all be Emmitt Smith. But this is a changed football team from a year ago.
Aikman 26 for 41 after a slow start.
Novacek.
At the time, he's got it. And a first down at the 30. They're in field goal range.
Well, the linebackers are playing very nonchalantly here. Novacek releases, and watch, 97 Bennett, Talley, very nonchalant. Not much help there.
Mickey Washington, extra defensive back, finally making the tackle. Irvin and Novacek, big days, 8 catches each. Movement. False start, I believe. It was Mark Tuinei.
He's got Bruce Smith over him, but did the defense draw it? Jimmy Johnson taking a couple of
flags all over the field.
Illegal snap
Yes.
on the center, number 53. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
They always get the offense in that situation, you know? They always get the offense.
Academic All-American and Pro Bowler Mark Stepnoski from Pittsburgh.
A GTE academic All-American who was a guard in college, learned to play center in the pros.
First down, 15. Gainer doesn't gain much to the 31-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 11. Gaines made the tackle.
Now Dallas has got one timeout left. 2nd down and long. Nickel package in there. 6 defensive backs for Buffalo again.
Aikman again, well protected, throws short. Looked as if he ran into his own blocker, and it was Bruce Smith who was pushing that blocker right into him, and then filtered through and got a piece of the quarterback too.
They call that the bull rush, and Bruce Smith can do it. He gets Tuinei right underneath the shoulder pads and just shoves him back into the chest of Troy Aikman.
This is a career high in pass attempts for Troy Aikman. That was his 43rd attempt.
Goodness. He's needed every one of them to get him to this point.
3rd down, 11. And there is Alvin Harper, his first catch of the game, and it's good for a first down.
No catch.
No, they're waving it off.
They're saying no catch.
Well, it's not very definitive.
They've already moved the chains.
And one official saw it differently than the others. Here's our look at it. That's a catch.
Clearly. Well, does it come loose?
Come on. No, that's a catch. Does not hit the ground. Tucks it in. Rolls. Now, the official saw that ball loose in between, but it didn't hit the ground. That's a legal catch.
But unfortunately, with the absence of any instant replay, all you do is you get one chance to see it at full speed.
It has been ruled a completed pass.
The majority rules. Jerry Jones couldn't agree more. Now, 48 seconds. The clock is running. One timeout left for Dallas. They're in easy field goal range to tie. Harper's first catch was for 13 yards on the third down. That was big. Derek Gainer. And Gainer to the 10. That play call would make one think that they're setting it up for an easy field goal for Elliott. Don't take a chance on a pass being intercepted.
They're going point-blank range here for Elliott.
Now Aikman looking into the end zone. It is intercepted. Intercepted by Matt Darby. Oh, my. Can you believe it? They take the chance on one final pass, and Darby has his first career interception.
Dick, that's because Elliott misses the two earlier field goals from reasonable range. They take a chance to throw it. Darby with excellent coverage.
It looked as if Darby had shielded the receiver. I think it was Novacek from the ball. It hit Novacek, bounced back, and Darby intercepts.
That close to victory. And now the Dallas Cowboys are staring at 0-2. And so far, Jerry Jones's bet that the defending world champion Dallas Cowboys can win without Emmitt Smith has been proven incorrect.
So turnovers.
Goodness.
Just into the line. Oh, would you like to have a microphone in that man's presence the rest of this week? The Buffalo Bills with Dallas driving toward what seemed to be a certain tying field goal and maybe a winning touchdown. And the interception on the goal line by Matt Darby. 4 Dallas turnovers today.
Goodness.
The one by Kevin Williams on the punt fumble set up the field goal that wins it for Buffalo. And now Jimmy Johnson with the longest jog any coach must take at the end of the game to congratulate the opposing coach on a defeat that is so difficult to digest. 0-2, the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys start, and Marv Levy enjoys this, the Hager wrinkle-free cotton super play of the game. Off Novacek. Darby, the second-year man from UCLA, with the interception on the ricochet. And the Buffalo Bills, who had to live through the third straight Super Bowl defeat for the 6 months of the offseason, gained some sweet revenge in Irving today.